Welcome to the Spanish mini lesson on sentence structure. I'm Senor Murphy. English and Spanish have very similar sentence structures. The basic structure for both languages consists of the subject first, followed by the verb, and then the object. For example, in English we say, Joe eats carrots. In Spanish we say, Jose come zanahorias. Another one, Mary reads books in English. In Spanish, Maria lee libros. You can see on both of these that you have the subjects first, Joe, Mary, Jose, and Maria, then the verb, eats and reads, come and lee, and then the object, carrots and books, zanahorias and libros. This is very helpful in creating basic sentences in Spanish, because if you're not sure what to do, you can just keep moving and think of it on that one-to-one relationship between English sentences and Spanish sentences. Here's another example. Tom goes to the beach. Tomás va a la playa. Again, there's a one-to-one relationship here. Tom, Tomás, goes, va, to, a, the, la, beach, playa. So let's try out some basic sentences. First one, I walk to the school, voy caminar a escuela, or yo camino a la escuela. In this one, yo camino a la escuela. Yo, I walk, camino, to, a, the, la, escuela, and school. Next, we're going to sing. Nosotros vamos a cantar, or nosotros vamos a cantamos. In this one, A is the correct answer. The difference here between the two, you'll notice cantar and cantamos, is that the verb sing at the end in A is not conjugated, just as it is not conjugated in English, but in part B, choice B, it is conjugated as cantamos. So just like in English and Spanish, you're going to be conjugating just one verb in a basic sentence. In this case, going, we're going. And last one, they swim in the lake. Lago nadan ellos, or ellos nadan en el lago. Again, ellos nadan en el lago. They swim in the lake. Each one of those is a one-to-one relationship again. And I do want to point out here, for total disclosure, that even though I've shown you a one-to-one relationship here, the yo, nosotros, and ellos, the personal pronouns, are not required in Spanish. Camino, for example, the verb is caminar, to walk. Camino by itself means I walk. I put the yo in there to help see the one-to-one relationship. Same with we're going, nosotros vamos, nosotros being the we part. Or they swim, ellos, they swim, nadan, but nadan by itself, with that an ending, means they swim. So it just really is an emphasis on they by putting the pronoun in there. There are some differences in sentence structure between Spanish and English. First one is the adjective placement and agreement. In English, adjectives always go before the nouns as a general rule. Spanish, adjectives of quantity go before, quality after. For example, 3 white dogs, with those both adjectives before. In Spanish, tres perros blancos. So tres, 3, is the quantity. The quality or descriptive word is blancos, which goes after. Many smart students, muchos for many, estudiantes, inteligentes goes after, being the descriptive or quality word. There is another mini lesson devoted to the adjective placement and agreement, so I'm not going to spend more time on it here. You can go to the other mini lesson for more details on that, as well as some practice. Another difference between English and Spanish sentences is in question words, if there is not an interrogative being the question itself, what, who, why, when, where, how, without that at the beginning of the question, in English, we'll start with do. Do you jump? Do we eat? So if we don't have a what, where, when question word or interrogative at the beginning, in English we put do at the front. In Spanish, we don't do the do, or as the scholars in class say, you don't do the do in Spanish like you do the do in English. So here's an example. Do you run every day? Corres todos los días? You'll notice there is no word there for do. Corres meaning you run. Todos, every, los días, days. In Spanish, we have an extra word in there, los. So you have, just begin with corres, you run, and there is no word for do. Another example, do we study now? Estudiamos, we study. Ahora, now. Again, no word for do. So a big difference here between the two languages. Estudiamos ahora would be a statement. We study now. Estudiamos ahora would be a question. Do we study now? Exactly the same words, but it's the voice fluctuation that creates the question in Spanish. Again, one more time. For a sentence, estudiamos ahora. For a question, estudiamos ahora. So it's just that voice punctuation. For additional resources, you can check out other mini lesson videos. As I mentioned earlier, there's an adjective mini lesson that includes some examples and some practice. There will be additional mini lessons coming that will touch some of these items in more detail later. Also, the Guía del Estudio, which is on the resource page of my website, is about a 30-page document that you can use to get additional information on this as well as many other subjects in Spanish. And if you have any questions, please contact me at murphy@parnassusprep.com.